Hi, this tutorial is for Singapore businesses who would like to build a new website and would like to know about which hosting company suits them. So today we are comparing two hosting company. One is the US based Bluehost. This is one of the biggest hosting company in the world. They're based in US and they are comparable to HostGator and GoDaddy. The other is a Singapore based local hosting company called Vodian. Locally they are one of the biggest hosting company. So what's the difference in price and in terms of features? So before we jump into that, no matter what hosting company you go for, there are a few options that you can choose. So shared, VPS and dedicated. What shared means is that you basically get a small space inside one server and you're sharing with a lot of other businesses that are doing websites as well. The downside to this is that if the other websites have tons of traffic viewing them, your speed, your bandwidth will be affected. But because of this, the price is also very cheap. It's $349 USD per month. Now on the other spectrum, we have dedicated server. So the hosting company basically allocate one whole server for you, and you get this resource dedicated to you, and you don't have to fight with others for bandwidth. So this is much more expensive. What VPS means, VPS is a virtual private server. It is an in-between shared and dedicated. Essentially, you're still sharing the space with other people, but here you get much more dedicated and fixed amount of resources which are allocated to you, and there's not so much people on one server. So this costs in between the two price. So you can click more to view the different tier within the shared services and what's the bandwidth and all this. Generally speaking, website space of 100 GB is more than enough for most businesses. Alright, and some of the package also comes with domain. So if you click on if you purchase this, you don't have to purchase another domain separately. So let's look at Vodian. Similarly, they have web hosting, they have VPS hosting and dedicated server. The price is slightly more expensive. It's $10 Sing dollars per month as opposed to $349 USD per month. The difference is really based on because of scale. US is a much bigger, they have much more website that require hosting, and Bluehost has so much more client. They scaled it up and they're able to make it much cheaper. So what's the consideration for some businesses to host locally? Well, the distance between your hosting company and the user that are viewing your website, the distance does plays a part in the load speed. So if you're hosting in Bluehost, it may take a few seconds to load the website, whereas if you're hosting locally, it can take as fast as below 1 to 2 seconds. So there's a slight bit of difference. So that's one. Secondly, that difference actually translates to a little bit of SEO. It will affect search engine results when Google actually tries to rank website. They do look at whether this website is hosted locally or overseas. So if it is hosted locally, and when Singapore businesses try to search for the website, your website a locally hosted website would have a higher ranking than a internationally hosted website. So that's about the difference, and based on my own experience, I do experience some problem with Bluehost in that in the shared server, when somebody another business that is using that shared server spam out emails to user and get banned, my domain is affected as well, even though I did not do any spam. So then that is troublesome, and we have to spend a lot of time to rectify that. And with local server, because they are not the Singapore businesses that register with these servers, firstly they need to pay more, so they are more legit, and they do not just anyhow spam, and you are less affected by this. And secondly, I inquired Vodian, and their policy is not to block any email, but they will advise you on what you should do when it's banned. So that's basically the differences. Thank you.